Good morning, everyone. Welcome back here. As you can see, we have on the screen a new topic, and the topic is factors influencing motivation. Now, as you all can understand, we are doing lesson motivation, and I hope everybody have done the question answers. Now, in this slide, you can see on the screen what are the different factors which influence motivation. What are the different factors? Now, factors which affect motivation are called incentives. Okay, there are two types of incentives: monetary incentives and non-monetary incentives. So when we talk about monetary incentives, as I told you earlier also, monetary incentives are also known as financial incentives or pecuniary incentives. There are different names for the same thing. They involve direct or indirect payment in terms of money actually. Now examples we can go for: wages, for example wages, salaries, allowances, bonus, leave with pay, housing facility, any kind of medical reimbursement, pension, etc. All this comes under monetary benefits. Now, what comes under the non-monetary benefits or non-monetary incentives? That is again very important. As I told you, the monetary is important as well as the non-monetary is also important at the same time. So, non-monetary incentives are those incentives which are not measured in terms of money. That means you are not giving money or any kind of thing, and they do not add to the income of the recipient. And what are they? Examples are challenging jobs, competition, appreciation of the work done, social recognition, knowledge of the result, suggestion schemes, opportunity for growth, participation in the management, etc. All these things comes under non-monetary incentives. You are appreciating someone for the good work. You are actually recognizing him, right? You are giving him recognition. You are giving him suggestion scheme. When I talk about recognition, I mean social recognition. That's the error. Social recognition, not social comma. That it should be together. Social recognition, etc. Okay, am I clear? This is what there is a difference between monetary and non-monetary incentives. Basically, I can tell you monetary incentives are those which involve cash, which involve money in it, whereas non-monetary incentives do not involve money in it. Monetary incentives, you can see with the help of example, are all tangible, that is visible and measurable. They are called tangible. Whereas non-monetary incentives are all intangible, that means invisible and non-measurable. And another point of differences can be done. Monetary incentives are used to satisfy lower level needs for food, clothing and shelter. That means all this is for lower level. But when we talk about the higher level, for higher level needs like ego needs, self-actualization needs, for that we require non-monetary incentives. Okay, another point of difference we can go for. Monetary incentives are determined on the basis of job evaluation. Monetary incentives are determined on the basis of job evaluation, whereas non-monetary incentives are based on the nature of the job, the aspiration of employees, etc. Am I clear? So this is a very technical kind of a difference. You can go through them. Monetary incentives are basically for non-managerial employees. On the other hand, non-monetary incentives are for the managerial employees, for the one who are at the higher post. Have I made myself clear with this? So for them we use the non-monetary incentives. So we can sum up in this what all comes under the monetary incentives: the wages and salary, allowances, fringe benefits. All this comes under monetary incentives. And what all can come on the non-monetary incentives are status symbol, satisfying job, appreciation of work, social recognition, competition. All these things comes under non-monetary incentives. Have I made myself clear? Are you satisfied with this explanation? If you want something else, you can ask me anytime in the review section, or you can always send me your comment. You can always send me your request. I am there to explain you. We will rather take the necessary measures to make you understand each and everything. There's nothing which I don't want my children to learn. Obviously, there are certain more monetary incentives which you can note down, which is not there here. If you want, you can take a pen and paper and write down. The cash rewards can be monetary, cash awards, cash rewards can be monetary benefits. Bonuses can be things. Promotions are monetary benefits because you're getting promoted. That means you're getting higher salaries, so that's a monetary benefit. Whereas you can add on some more points for non-monetary benefits. We have opportunity for growth, participation in management. Have I made myself clear? Participation in management. All these points can be added. There's a healthy competition. All these are non-monetary incentives. Have I made myself clear? That's good. Now let's see what we have on the another slide. The next slide which we have is a Maslow hierarchy, or the Maslow theory of hierarchy of human needs. You know what? Abraham H. Maslow, an American psychologist, has developed a theory of motivation on the basis of human needs. Okay. First we'll discuss all the theory. I'll later come on to the categories. The first theory is, according to Abraham Maslow, he said the first theory of hierarchy of human needs, the first theory he said is a man is a perpetual wanting animal and his needs are never fully satisfied. After one needs, another stands up. We all know that. I've already discussed with you how you want from a cycle to a chauffeur, right? Now, human needs, point number 2 can be said by him is, human needs differ in importance and can therefore be arranged in a series or a pyramid or a hierarchy. Okay. Point number 3, an individual needs at a particular level on a hierarchy emerge only when the lower end needs are satisfied. That means one of your needs is satisfied, then only you can have another need, right? Then point number 4, satisfied needs do not motivate behavior because it is already satisfied. Now it will not motivate you anymore. The lower order needs, that is the though lower order needs, we have not yet done the hierarchy, but still I will tell you the lower order needs are physiological needs and the safety needs. So they are more finite than the higher level needs, that is ego needs and the self-actualization needs. Now let's look on to the category of what Abraham Maslow said, or 5 categories he had made. The first category, now look onto the slide everyone. First category is physiological needs. Now what does that include? It includes your food, clothing, shelter, air, sex, sleep, clothing, all these kinds of whatever is needed for the human survival. All this comes under the physiological needs. Am I clear? Okay, point number 2, the safety needs. When we talk about the safety needs, these needs consist of the physical safety or the protection against the murder, fire, accidents, etc. For example, if I talk about economic security, right? If I talk about economic security, that means against unemployment, against theft, against old age, against sickness, against disability of any kind, right? For that, what happened? We provide them with pension plan, we have insurance plan for the people, for the safety and the healthy working conditions being provided to the employees. Moving on to the next kind of need, the third point, social needs. Man is a social animal, he's a social human being actually. Therefore, he has a need to belong and to be accepted by others. So social needs is when we're talking about social groups, love and affection, right? Social media, friendship, all these things comes under the social needs. Every human being wants to build meaningful relation with others, and for that we go on for these social medias and social websites. I believe you all are aware of the social medias. It's nothing new for you. Now the next is the esteem needs. Esteem needs are basically also known as ego needs. or the self-esteem needs. Actually, esteem needs are of two types: a self-esteem and esteem of others. Self-esteem means your self-respect, your self-confidence, okay, your feelings of personal worth, your independence, all these things comes under the self-esteem. But what comes under the esteem of others? Need to recognize somebody, need to understand status, power, prestige, achievement. All these things comes under the esteem needs. Now the next point, the last one, you can see self-actualization need. These are the needs for realizing one's full potential. That means how much potential you are having. What is your capability? What is your capability? What is your ability to do things? How much you are having the caliber to do things. These refers to the needs for becoming everything that one is capable of becoming. What are you capable of becoming? You become that, right? So that is what is self-actualization need. And I must tell you, self-actualization need is actually the boss of all the needs. It is actually leading. And we all understand the first two needs, the physiological needs, the safety needs, are the priority needs. Whereas the three needs, social needs, esteem needs, self-actualization needs, comes later in the Maslow theory. We have already discussed all the different parts of the theory. Okay, so in this slide for today we will be only going through the Maslow theory of the hierarchy of human needs. In the next class we'll be having some other slides of the same lesson. Obviously this lesson is not complete. I hope you are already writing everything down. Apart from this, whatever you see on the screen, kindly note down all the explanations which are given, some extra points which are discussed, because each and everything is important. This is class 12, because when we are explaining, we have lots of things to explain, right? So ultimately, whatever the teacher says, is each and everything is important. So kindly note down each and everything. Even some points extras are given by the teachers while explaining, so kindly note them down. They are actually nothing but extra advantage for you to prepare. Right, and I hope you have already done. So even this slide today also have assignment. So kindly finish off the assignment with this slide as well, so that when you come back again next week, you have another questions ready for the next assignment and the next slides for you. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. Thank you. Well, good morning everyone. Today, as you can see on the screen, the slide is ready for you, and the topic is Herzberg two-factor theory. You understand by this, Herzberg is obviously a name, and his full name is Frederick Herzberg. Basically what happened is, Frederick Herzberg had interviewed 200 accountants and engineers working in 11 different firms in the Pittsburgh area of USA. The findings of his study are that there are two sets of factors which affects the satisfaction or the dissatisfaction of employees, and accordingly he had sum up. Okay. So he had found out two different factors. Okay, the first one he called it as a dissatisfiers, which he called them as a hygiene factor. Okay, some jobs condition operate primarily to dissatisfy employees when they are absent, but their presence does not motivate them when they are absent, but their presence does not motivate them in a strong way. So they are basically the dissatisfied or the hygiene factors. Understood? On the other hand, if you look onto the other hand of the thing, this is a hygiene factor. There's also another point. This is actually, as I told you, they are dissatisfied or the hygiene factors. Now the other one is these hygiene factors or dissatisfiers are also known as maintenance factors, the other name for this. Okay, now we have on the another set of job condition which operate primarily to build a strong motivation and high job satisfaction, but their absence does not create any strong dissatisfaction among employees. And what are they called? Please underline and write down in your notebook. They are called motivational factors or satisfied. That means this is just the reverse of the other one. Understood? So hygiene factors, which is also called maintenance factor, which is also called dissatisfiers. The examples are given to you. The maintenance or the hygiene factors are company policy and administration, technical supervision, salary, working conditions, job security, status, personal life. Understood? All these are nothing but the maintenance factors or the hygiene factors or the dissatisfied. So there are certain motivational factors also, which are the satisfiers. You can note them down. They are not given in this slide, but you can note them down. Take a pen and a pencil or a pencil and write it down in the register. The motivational factors includes, point number one, motivational factors includes, point number one, challenging work. Point number two, feeling of achievement. Feeling of achievement. Point number three, recognition, as I told you, social recognition. Point number four, increasing the responsibility or increased responsibility. And point number five, opportunity for growth. Opportunity for growth. All these things comes under motivational factors or satisfactory factors or satisfiers, and that is why they are also important. Now this much for this slide. As we can see, we move on to another slide, and probably this is the last slide which we'll be doing from here for this lesson today. As in this slide, it is very clear that you can understand. If you can read on to the slide, you can understand what does this slide means, what does the slide says all about. Now, if you can read out, we can understand the first point. There are different similarities also between Abraham Maslow and Herzberg. What are the similarity? The very first point, if you see, the similarity has been given to you. You need to go through them. The first difference, the first comparison or first similarity is that both models assume that's a spelling error, specific needs energize behavior. This is first point of similarity. Point number two, both fail to answer the question of individual difference in motivation. That means both cannot give you the answer. Both had failed to answer the question of individual differences in motivation. Point number three, both oversimplify the motivational process. They deal with the same problem. Have I made myself clear? So this is the similarity between them. The motivators are helpful in meeting the higher level needs. Both the models focuses attention on the same relationship. That means what motivates an individual. So these are nothing but what is actually we are talking about. They are basically the relationship between Maslow and Herzberg. That means how they are related, what is their relation or what is the similarity between them, how are they similar, what is there which makes them similar. But apart from similarity, there is also some difference, which again I would like you to take a pen and note them down. Take down the pen and note them down. Draw two columns. In one column you write down Maslow theory, and the other column you write down Herzberg model. Herzberg model or Herzberg theory, whatever. In the first column, in the Maslow theory, you write down formulated in terms of needs. Formulated in terms of needs. Point number one, formulated in terms of needs. In terms of needs. Point number one, in the Herzberg theory, write down formulated in terms of rewards and incentives. Formulated in terms of rewards and incentives. Formulated in terms of rewards and incentives. Difference number two, under the Maslow theory, point number two, you write down they are hierarchical. You know what? They are in hierarchy. So they are hierarchical or sequential arrangements of needs. Whereas Herzberg model, there is no such arrangement. Any needs, any time, right? Third point of difference on the basis of write down. Third point, they have, under the Maslow theory, you write down, they have descriptive nature. Descriptive, descriptive, descriptive nature. Whereas in the Herzberg theory, you write down, they have prescriptive nature. prescriptive, prescriptive nature. Point number 4, Maslow theory includes unsatisfied needs motivate individuals. But in Herzberg theory, what happens? Satisfied needs regulates behavior and the performance of individuals. Motivators, write down point number 4. Sorry, this is point number 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, point number 5 you write down. Under Maslow theory, it takes a general view of the motivational problem. And under the Herzberg theory, you write down, it takes a micro view of the problem. This is again very important. You take a general view and then you take a micro view. So micro view means you are being microscopic. You are looking things in detail, getting into the detail of anything. That is called micro view. So this is the difference between Maslow theory and Herzberg theory. I hope you have jotted down all the 5 points which I told you. I want you to re-jot them down. If you have not written down you have missed out something, listen to the video once again and do write down once again the difference between the Maslow theory and the Herzberg theory, because similarity is there on the slide, on the screen, but the difference is not there. So you can take down, as I have told you, these things are also important. As I told you, the teachers, whatever they are telling you, whatever they are explaining you, any extra points been given to you, you need to note them down, because this is a normal study. Have it been in the book, we would have marked in the book. Had it been in the class, I would have made you write it down in the notebook, so you can write it down today also. There's no hard and fast rule that you can't do it today. So kindly note down the difference between the Maslow theory and the Herzberg theory, and you need to learn these all things, and at the same time kindly do all the question answers of the different slides, all the assignments being sheets provided to you, all the different question answers given to you. Kindly do them up. Don't leave anything for the last moment. With this, we come to the end of this lesson, children. We have already finished up. This entire lesson is complete. Staff motivation. With this, we come to the end of the lesson. Thank you so much for bearing with us. And again, I'll tell you, stay home, stay safe, and at the same time, keep studying and do things for class 12, keeping in mind that you are in class 12. Thank you.